BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 190, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86, here again with another review for you guys. Today, the film I'm reviewing is a film from 2010, but it actually didn't get a US release until 2015 when it was picked up and distributed by Troma. Of course, we all know Troma and the films that they release. A lot of indie-style films from their own selves and from other countries, which this one is. This one comes from the land of Italy, and it goes by the title of Symphony in Blood Red. Yes, as you can see on the cover, it actually has a quote from famed Italian horror director Dario Argento, and it says, "Cruel, harsh, and shocking." Yes. This film is directed by Luigi Pastori. Of course, if you don't know him, he's most notably known for actually a film I actually reviewed on BodyBags before, Violent Shit the Movie. Yes, he went on to do that reimagining of Andre Schnau's Violent Shit series. And this one is actually his directorial debut, which was very interesting as, of course, this film pretty much is like his homages to Dario Argento in a way, and very fitting that it actually comes with a quote from Dario. Now, the main plot of this one is very simple. It's not really too out there. Pretty much the plot of this one is we're following this serial killer as he goes around killing people and involving like what he calls like his Christoyles period, where he goes through like this metamorphosis to becoming like a serial killer. Pretty much is the main plot, and we're introduced and interact with like the victims that he becomes involved with, and also one girl that he becomes kind of obsessed with throughout the film. That is pretty much the main plot of this one without going too far and crazy into it. Now, the cool thing about this film, it actually opens up from a quote from Tenebrae, of course, Dario Argento's film, which I found very fitting because this film does have a lot of similarities to Argento styles. This film has a lot of like stylistic scenes that go within it, and it has like a lot of like things that goes around with it being like a kind of like a more in the vein of like a slasher in a way. It's not really like has the giallo aspect to it, this one, but it does have like a very brief moment of like investigation in this serial killer's life through like this TV program, kind of like one of those like local like TV stations that are informed on this thing. Very cool thing is actually the word yellow is inside the name of like the program that's investigating this crime spree, and it goes into well because giallo actually means yellow in Italian. So really awesome stuff with that. I did kind of like that little homage, and a few like of the stylistic choices that the director does with the cinematography of this film is very great and has some great colors and schemes that go within it. So pretty much what we get with this film is kind of like a style over substance slasher, but I dig it. It's got like this very interesting aspect where we follow the killer, what he's thinking, and we learn things through like flashbacks and what's going on with him as his character progresses throughout the film, which I do dig. In the aspect of the flashbacks, they come in small doses, and we also get like these little montages of like this weird like, you know, like those kind of like street puppets that we like see in films like during medieval times. They happen in this film also, and they kind of tell you what's going on in the killer's mind also. It's very strange, but I did kind of dig that aspect. It's kind of like Italian version of Maniac in a way, where we're following like this killer as he progresses on his killing spree. And I gotta say that this film actually has a very high body count, and it has like a lot of good kills, and they're very awesome stylistic kills. Ones that I didn't actually see coming, and there's actually one amazing kill that I'll briefly talk about when I get into like certain aspects that I like about it with its soundtrack. And let's get into that. With the soundtrack, of course, is done by Claudio Simonetti, of course, famed composer on his own right, and when he was with Goblin. So it has like that Italian aspect of the feel of seal approval to be like Italian horror film and your film is scored by Claudio Simonetti, you made it in the business. And it's awesome, man. There's actually one cool setup scene where there's actually a kill that happens in a nightclub, and Claudio Simonetti is actually performing live on stage with his band at the time, Demona, which of course was named after like Lucio Fulci's film, I believe. It was actually also named after Demonia. That's the name of his band at the time. And they do like a great like song, and the music playing is high octane and awesome, and just what happens in that scene is amazing. It's one of my favorite scenes in the whole film. But yeah, really interesting. This one's might not be for everyone because it is a more style substance, like film in style. And the story is very basic. It's not really but there is a story that is in the film with like the aspects of following this killer and what he's all about, and as he goes into what he is called like his metamorphosis in a way. So yeah, I really did enjoy this one for what it was. It's not anything too mind-blowing, but I did like the aspects of the filmmaking aspect and the kills, and the music is awesome, and just the story itself is very basic. And of course this film only runs like an hour and 18 minutes, which I believe is like the perfect length for it, because it doesn't go too mind-blowingly over exaggerate itself when like the lengths department. So if I had to rate Symphony in Blood Red, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I highly enjoyed it for what it was. Just a very like stylistic slasher film pretty much, and has some awesome kills and awesome music, and one that you don't take too seriously, and you just enjoy it for what it is. Very stylistic like character study slasher film, which was pretty awesome. So 8 out of 10 for this release from Troma, of course, which actually has some awesome like special feature. It has a documentary with the director, and actually it also includes Dario Argento in that documentary. And we also get like behind the scenes footage, original trailer, a make your own damn movie lesson with Dario Argento, highlights from the Troma Dance Film Festival, Kabuki Man's Cocktail Corner trailer, and an introduction, of course, by Lloyd Kaufman, which is probably one of the fucking funniest introductions that I've seen by Lloyd Kaufman in a while. And you'll see why. If you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about and what happens. It's awesome and kind of gross at the same time what happens in it. But it had me cracking up, like, especially with the shit he was saying in the introduction. It was very awesome. So yeah, highly recommend this film. Give it a chance. Awesomeness from Italy, of course, and it is in Italian with English subtitles, so you do have to read it, guys. Awesomeness right here. So 8 out of 10 for Symphony in Blood Red. Highly enjoyed it. Alright guys, it's just for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll be back next week. Next week is going to be our theme week, and you'll see what theme it is next week, guys. So I'll see you then. Peace out.